Hey everybody, Spartan from SpartanTrading.com here. Want to give you guys a little educational video today, quick one, but I want to talk about how to find options trades for you and your account. Now, depends on what you're doing, but there's many different ways to find options trades. One of my favorite ways to do it is from a technical standpoint. I find that if you can find something that aligns with your setup and thesis and a risk reward, from a technical standpoint, you can put yourself into really nice option positions. So let's talk about how to actually find an options trade for yourself. Now, one of the things that you should do is be looking at the market itself. If you're going to be trading options, you're most likely going to be trading something more on the liquid side. So the bigger cap names, mega caps, et cetera, et cetera. You know, the well-known tech names, you can talk about those. You can talk about the cyclical names, et cetera. Now, if you don't know what these names are, you don't know or have them built for yourself, a really easy thing to do, or a really easy tool to use to build these little watch lists for yourself of these names is go to FinViz, go to the screener, and go to industry. Now, on industry, you can go into specific things you want to look at in regards to, let's say, gambling, gold, whatever. You can build a watch list that way, or you can go more macro, broad-based by going at the sector, for instance, going at the financials, and then looking at, let's say, large cap financials with where's options volume on this thing? So optionable. And you're going to get a list of a whole bunch of different, names on the financial side that you can look at to trade options. Now, one of the things that you can also do is, if you want to, sort by current volume, just to make sure that the underlying stock is, liquid enough to trade, as well as if you want to sort by relative volume to make sure that, it's got a little bit more special volume than typical. Then you got your list there. Now, with these lists, what you can then do, go to snapshot. If you're looking at, let's say, swing trades, go through these and look for particular setups that you like to trade. Flag breaks, range breaks to the upside, head and shoulders, whatever. As long as that makes sense in regards to where it has room to, either to the upside or the downside, you then can look at the delta, how long you can think, or how long you think that move would take, which is going to give you a little bit of an insight into which expiration of contract to take. And voila, you've developed some sort of trade idea. So building an option trade idea for yourself is not super complex. It can be done. Obviously, as you get more experience, you can do them a lot quicker. But this is the start of the process. So start from the 50,000 foot view, look down from sector, look at the individual names, look at the actual setup if it's there, look at the risk reward if it makes sense for you and your account. Then start to consider how much time that move could take, and voila, you've developed an options trade for yourself. If you're doing more so on the intraday side, because this is more so on the swing side, it would be the same process. One other thing I would consider is what's going on in all the sectors. So a lot of the times you can start from something like a heat map. You can look at what's going on during the day. And let's say I go, I'm going to look at, software application, because that sector looks like it's relatively strong today. So I'll click on the sector, or I can just, have highlighted over actually. And you can see, some of the names that are pushing that day. Now, based off of these names, let's look at CRM and now. Intraday. Same process, except now time frame is just a little bit different, shorter time frame. What setup are we seeing? Let's say we saw CRM this morning, making a little flag setup. It had relative strength compared to the SPY. From there, I can go, maybe I want to take some weekly contracts. Where does CRM have room to on the upside? Let's just say that we're looking at it. I'm not going to check the daily here, but we do have last day's high at 215.69, or sorry, 215.96. So maybe your thought process is, I think CRM can go to that 215.96 intraday. You can then look at, weekly expiration calls that maybe the 215s make sense to take, and you take those and you trade those to the upside. Now, one of the things to consider as well, again, intraday, just to reiterate, is look at the setup, look at the risk reward, and using the risk reward, figure out how much room the stock has and whether or not it can meet your profit goal using the delta on that contract. So if the delta on that contract, for instance, is 50 cents, which was probably something like that, 50 cents of room to the, 50 cents, 50 cent delta, 2 points of room to the upside, you got about a point room to the upside there. May make sense to take that trade if it meets your reward potential. Maybe you're risking 30 cents on that contract to make 90, and it's got a buck of room to the upside, so it's got a little bit over what you need to make. So just a little bit of an insight into kind of how I do it from a technical standpoint. Very brief explanation, of course. If you have any other questions, you can go to SpartanTrading.com. Of course, I do cover it in more detail there, but hopefully this video helps, guys, gives you a little bit of my thought process in that regard. Have a good one. We'll talk to you guys next week.